Greetings everyone, my name is Gnomelf, and today we are going to be taking a look at the weapon called G36C. Up close, this weapon will be dealing 28 damage, landing it at 4 shots to kill. This will drop down to 15 damage at a distance, landing it at 7 shots to kill. These stats are actually the same as the last weapon I reviewed, that being the TAR-21. However, where this weapon differs from that one is with a headshot multiplier of 1.4, which does mean that it will take you at least 2 headshots in order to take your shots to kill down to 3. Moving on over to the range of this weapon, which is pretty average. Something to note of this weapon is it does actually have a slight better bonus from using the modified rifling than a lot of other weapons. However, it's still questionable whether or not you should actually use that over the precision barrel for this weapon. That's really just up to you guys. To give you guys a visual representation, here's the furthest range of which you can 4-shot people. And this is the range where you start needing 7 shots to kill. Do keep in mind that I did these tests both before and after the cruise update and got pretty much the same results. As for the fire rate of this weapon, it comes in at 652 rounds per minute. This together with the damage of the weapon puts its time to kill at 0.330 up close and 0.615 at a distance, giving it the second slowest time to kill of all the automatic assault rifles in the game. Comparing it to the average time to kill of the assault rifles, we can see that it does fall behind both short and long range engagements. As for the Ironsight and recoil of this weapon, it's not really my style. I feel like the Ironsight just takes up a bit too much of your screen, while also having the recoil be a bit too random at times. Generally the recoil is controllable, however it will spike sometimes, making it very hard to hit your target. That combined with the Ironsight taking up that little bit too much of your screen, I just really can't recommend it, and therefore I will say you should definitely put a scope on this weapon if you're going to use it. Either that or just hipfire with the gun, which it does pretty well. Some other stats you may be interested in knowing for this weapon is that the reload speed with bullets still left in the chamber is 2.7 seconds, and without any bullets left in the chamber it's 3.4 seconds. With the quick reload perk, this will be taken down to 1.9 seconds with bullets still left in the chamber, and 2.3 seconds without any bullets left in the chamber. Your magazine will hold 30 bullets, and you will bring 120 bullets with you into combat when you respawn. This cannot be extended through the use of an attachment. I am going to try my best to be honest with you guys about this weapon, even though I know it will hurt someone's feelings and they will be unhappy about my judgment. However, I know some of you come here to decide whether or not to purchase a weapon, and to be honest, I don't feel like this is one of the guns you should be purchasing. It really has a lot of negatives going for it, and I can't really seem to find that many positives that's holding it up. And not really anything it does which another weapon doesn't do a lot better. There isn't really an area where you're like, whoa, okay, this is why I'm purchasing this weapon. It's just that like the fire rate is pretty much the best thing about this weapon actually. That's the only point where it's only like mediocre, whereas a lot of other points like the damage, the range, the recoil, the Ironsight itself, it's just like too mediocre really. There's no really point where you're like, okay, this is what this weapon does and this is how I'm gonna play around it. However, just like with the Orc, which is another weapon I didn't recommend, you can definitely make this weapon work, and it's not like you're gonna be useless if you bring it into battle. You're definitely better off bringing either one of these two weapons instead of going unarmed into firefights. If you're still around and you still want my recommendation if you're going to use this weapon, as I mentioned earlier, I do really recommend that you put on a sight on the weapon, and that should actually be all you're gonna need for the recoil and for aiming on people. Because as I mentioned, it's not like your recoil is actually horrible, it just has some random spikes here and there, and I don't really think any of the recoil reducing attachments is gonna help you much there. So just slap a scope on it and move out. As for the second attachment, while the range isn't low itself, the damage it has does make it so the range isn't all that overpowering, so you might want to increase that with either the modified rifling attachment or the precision barrel. As always, the overall benefit from the precision barrel will be greater than the modified rifling. However, the modified rifling does work a little bit better on this weapon than a lot of other guns, so you might actually consider that, but that's just up to you guys. Personally, I often go with the precision barrel, however it's not like the modified rifling is useless, so really it's up to interpretation. Now I do believe that's just about everything I need to cover for this weapon. I do realize it took a bit of time to actually get this video out, however I really just haven't been playing all that much Ironsight lately. And also with the cruise update there was a lot of my files and stats and such I had to spend time updating. And it was not really finding the motivation to do that, so that also took a bit of my time. I can't say for sure when my next video will be out, however, if you guys are interested, you're just gonna have to be patient and wait for me. And I'll do my best to get one out in the nearest future. However, as for now, you guys take care, and I'll see you next time.